Well, a lot has happened since the last upload. We'll start with the international here. I mentioned, I believe, that there was an annoying metallic ting sound. It had just gotten worse and worse with this over the summer, and it ended up being the exhaust donut gasket dealio down here was completely falling off, and that was just rattling around. So it sounded like it was RPM consistent, but it was just rattling at a different rate of speed depending on it. So that's fixed for the time being. I'm sure it'll work itself loose again in the future. We'll deal with that when it happens. Otherwise, the International is pretty much ready to be hooked up to a trailer and tow the flat charger to the car show in about a week. Speaking of the flat charger, we'll go take a look at that. Haven't done a whole lot with the hearse since the last video when we got it in the yard, but there has been a lot of progress over here. This is new. Well, actually, it's not new at all. It's just new to the car. This is the 318 that was out of my blue 74 Charger. I've posted a couple shorts as I was trying to piece this together, but now you can see everything's cleaned up. And for a car that was practically under the ground, a year ago, it's not bad. It actually looks kind of nice under here. Everything is cobbled together. The radiator's out of a Jeep. I have a license plate as part of the rad mount, which looks kind of cool from the front, if I do say so. And yeah, everything is used parts. Just the stuff that's been sitting around that I've accumulated for throwing something like this together. I've been holding on to this boat tank for, I shit you not, probably like 6 years now, waiting to use it in something. Now, the goal was to get this running and driving enough to get it to drive on and off of a trailer at the show we're going to in a week. The problem we're running into is all drive shaft related, not being able to find the right slip yoke and yada yada. So I don't think that's going to happen, but it is a lot more complete than it was last year when we took it there. It looks more like a car. So, it'll still be fun, but it's just not going to be as loud. The only things that remain that we need to get done to make this run and drive is some rudimentary wiring, a lower rad hose, which I can't find one in a store anywhere, so we're going to need to splice some things together. Transmission cooling lines. This transmission was out of a van that was put in here, so those don't work at all. So we're going to need to figure out something there. And like I mentioned before, the drive shaft. In the coming days, I will get this pulled back out of the carport, load it on the trailer, and we'll hook all that up to the International. Give everything a quick wipe down to get all the dust off, because, you gotta have clean dents and tears and smush. The weather's been extremely bipolar lately. You either have a nice day like this, or it's pouring rain the entire day. So it's been very hit or miss getting anything done. I have cleared out this old shipping crate shed deal here. Just have a little bit more to do, and then I can dump this, because now I have this. Still needs paint, still needs stairs. I need to still address this support over here because it settled weird with all the rain. But yeah, for the most part, it's pretty nice. You can actually stand up in here. Everything's organized and dry. I need to get shelving and hangers and everything up. But yeah, this is everything that was shoved in that tiny ass little shed that you couldn't stand up in. I still need to run power back here, get all the tools brought back. But overall, it is a pretty nice setup considering what I was working out of. This here is a 4-barrel intake and carb. The carb is junk, but the intake is going to be going on the petty charger. And speaking of the petty charger, look at this. It also has a new to it 318. This came out of that red Jeep that a few of you might remember from some of my very first videos. It runs a lot stronger, but it has a little bit of a stumble, kind of mid-RPM range that I cannot tune out of it, so I think it is my cheapo Amazon 2-barrel carburetor. So instead of paying good money to get a name brand, supposedly half-decent 2-barrel, I'm going to pay good money to get a name brand, supposedly half-decent 4-barrel, and put that on here if we're going to the effort. I finally had the opportunity to put one of those Dodge Durango mini starters on one of these old 318s, and boy is it a fucking difference. It is so much better. No longer sounds like a dying squirrel for 38 seconds before it decides to fire. Major exhaust leak by the manifold, as you can tell there. There's a bolt broken off in the block, which I am not dealing with right now. I am also going to prep this one to take it to the show, since it's kind of the flagship of the yard here. Just give it a quick wipe down and take some ATF with me because there's a leak somewhere, and I think that's ready to go. I don't know if I ever showed the Scout in a regular video. I know I made a little short about it a while ago, but it is a 77 Scout. I love the color combo. I've known about the truck for a while, and we made a deal on it in trade for that green F-150 I had. And yeah, now I don't know really what I'm going to do with it. It needs a lot of rust repair in the rockers, floor, cab mounts, stuff like that. We'll go around the other side here so you can actually see it better. I threw the door on that side just to shield it from rain a little bit. But yeah, it's not great, but there's everything here to make it great again. I just need to figure out how to do the extensive welding that is necessary. I like doing body work, but usually that's just superficial things. A little bit of filler here, whatnot. Not so much this. But it has a title. It has I think it was a 345. And it's a little four-wheel drive, which up here is pretty useful. So I think this is going to hang around for a bit. I don't know how well it's going to pick up on camera, but I got bored one day and decided to start working on the paint on this side. And yeah, you can kind of see the difference here. It's all chalky and white, and over here it's kind of that nice vanilla yellow-ish color. I sold the Impala to somebody who is actually a viewer of the channel. Yeah, one of the 3 of you who regularly watches this shit is going to be the new owner of this car. All of that will go down probably mid-August or so. We'll need to see. It's one of those deals where if he ever decides to get rid of it, it'll come back to me. But I don't know if I'm going to get around to this in time to do it justice, and I don't want it to degrade anymore just sitting in the yard. I'll probably run the Torino down to the show as well, since it's currently on insurance. And yeah, that's probably about it for the summer because the rear end is starting to make some noise. I haven't been driving it a whole lot because of that. But again, I'll just give it a quick wipe down, and I'm currently debating on whether or not I want to throw a for sale sign on it while it's sitting down there. It's been something I've been trying to decide on for a while. Then we have this here, an old Sears lawn tractor. Got this free from the dump a little while ago. Got it running and driving. It has a little bit of a rod knock that's developed, so now I know why it was left at the dump, but you know, it still moves around the yard. It has a little Onan 2-cylinder in it. And yeah, I think it used to have a snowblower on the front because of this mounting bracket right here. That's from Google Images what I can figure out. The battery's probably dead, but we'll give it a shot anyway. Yeah. So there was a drain on that somewhere, and I'm not too inclined to figure that out at the moment, but yeah, free little tractor to move things around the yard with. Last but not least, and I've been trying to hide this from the view in the background as I've been going through what else has been happening, we have this. This is a one-owner, 97,000 original mile, 1985 Ford F-150 XLT Lariat, 4-wheel drive. For an extended cab bullnose, the body is in phenomenal condition. There is no rot on either side, right down here where they normally go. Around the wheel wells on both sides is in great shape. This is the only real rust on the truck right here. Around the front, it is again in phenomenal shape. The bumper has no tweaks in it, no broken pieces in the grille. And this side there's a little dent right here that I think I might be able to pop out. We'll need to look at that further. Has the old man running boards. I'm a big fan of the visor. Again, no rust down there. And none as we follow along back here. What sucks is the tailgate is pretty beat up. And the front of the bed as well. It's been pushed in. So they were hauling something at one point that just slid back and forth and beat the shit out of it. And I need to get that one piece of the slider window. Coming around inside, it's showing some age, some wear right where your arm usually sits. Carpets might clean up. There is wear over here on the driver's side. Passenger side is like new. Back seat is like new. Everything needs to be cleaned up. It has power windows and locks, which is neat. You'll see there's vice grip for the wipers and to actually start the truck here. So yeah, the column is a little worn out. I'll need to look into what is actually going on, but the lock cylinder does not do anything with the rod here. So something is disconnected or broken or whatever. You'll notice that the dash has no cracks in it, even up by the speaker there where they usually fall apart is in great shape. Headliner's coming down a little bit. We'll need to work on fixing that, not just with staples this time. I may even splurge and get a carpet kit for it because I think that would help out the interior a lot. As you can see, there's far less wear on everything on the passenger side here. Driver's side isn't all that bad, really. Just, it might clean up even. And that is exactly what we're going to do. We're going to clean this truck up a little bit. We're not doing a full deep dive. We're just going to do a quick general once-over to see kind of what we're working with. It does run and drive. I hope to take it to the same car show in a week. We'll need to see how things go. We've only driven it up and down the road a couple times. It has... Let me see if I can do this one-handed. There we go. It has a 5.8 in it, and it sounds pretty good. I will get a video of it running here shortly. I'm waiting on a vacuum cap right there because there are some, idling issues, clearly. It appears to be super clean under here. Valve cover leaks a little bit, and yeah, there's going to be little things that pop up here and there. But I do believe that this might be the winter daily. Now that I got rid of the diesel, I'd been looking for something all summer. I thought I might be able to get the hearse done in time. That's not going to happen. But, yeah, I think this might fill the position pretty good. I'm just going down this side with some SOS pads and water right now, getting a lot of the junk off the paint. And I found this little, witness mark where the blue van that they had on the same property came really close to denting this bedside. These bullnoses get a really neat patina on the hood. Gives it like a farm truck look. With a little bit of a shine on there with one coat of wax, it makes it really pop. I am a fan. Now I'm going to clean up the grill and bumper. And here it is out in the open. Took it for a little drive around the block. It really is in nice shape. Doesn't run tip-top yet, but we'll get that figured out. But yeah, I'm going to just keep cleaning, and I'll probably do a video on this truck and only this truck in the future. This is totally normal starting procedure. So I'm wrapping up the passenger side here. The cab is done. The bed is not. You can see how much of contrast there is there. All I'm doing is going over the paint really lightly with SOS pads to get a lot of the junk and oxidation off of it. And then I'm wiping it down with water, and then I'm putting on one coat of wax just to seal everything in. But yeah, it's looking really nice. Here later this summer, I'm hopefully going to go back over it with a buffing wheel and some good compound to get some of the staining and shadows out of the paint. Usually I do that by hand, but my arthritis has been acting up and it's not fun anymore. So I'm going to just do the preliminary wash down here, see what we're working with, and put that on the calendar for a later date. We'll do a quick walk around now that everything's been wiped down. Turned out pretty nice. A little bit of a sheen with that one coat of wax. This is a really nice truck, actually. Just get it running a little bit better, and I think it's going to be the new daily. A little bit of rust starting to come through right here, where it is on the other side. Tomorrow I'll come up and clean out the interior. Probably won't video any of that. These look good together. The orange and the brown. This is the nicest bullnose front clip, besides that fender dent, that I have seen in person. But yeah, that's going to do it for tonight. The next video you see will probably be getting some things ready for the car show and going to the car show itself. I want to take the time to thank everybody who took their time to watch the video. If you want to see more on this truck, definitely stick around. I'll be doing a lot with this. It's going nowhere anytime soon. I hope you all are getting everything done this summer that you intended and more, and I'll catch you in the next video.